The noise that follows her is a force of nature. She has already conquered 9 of the world's best. Now, the 17th seed stands on the brink of a 10th top 10 victory, with a $7.4 million tournament and the US Open looming on the horizon. But her opponent isn't intimidated. She's excited. The stage was set at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio. The air was thick with anticipation. And standing across the net was a ghost from Eala's past. Elena Gabriela Ruse, the Romanian who had broken her heart in the 2024 US Open qualifiers. That loss had stung. Ruse hacked out a 3-6, 6-1, 6-4 victory, denying the Filipina what would have been her first main draw appearance in a Grand Slam. For Eala, it was a reminder of how close she was and how far she still had to go. But this was a different Eala. The girl who had lost to Ruse 2 years ago was gone. In her place stood the world No. 20, a WTA 500 champion and a player who had just proven she belonged among the elite. The match began with a test of nerves. Ruse broke Eala's serve in the opening game, threatening to repeat history. But then something clicked. Eala, who had received a first-round bye as the No. 17 seed, the highest seeding of her career at a WTA 1000 event, showed why she belongs among the elite. She responded with breathtaking aggression, winning 9 consecutive games. Ripping forehand return winners from inside the baseline, Eala closed out the first set 6-1 and jumped to a 3-0 lead in the second. The sweltering humidity did nothing to slow her down. Then came the interruption. With Eala serving in the 4th game, the match was suspended due to a lightning warning. Ruse, who had called for a medical timeout due to a right foot injury, withdrew before play could resume. The 6-1, 3-0 retirement victory was anticlimactic, but the message was clear. Eala had avenged her 2024 US Open qualifying loss, improved her record to 8-1 on the North American hardcourt swing, and now owned 8 consecutive victories against opponents who had previously beaten her. I think that I was playing well. I think I felt the ball good, was really focused, and tried to keep myself in the zone, Eala said after the match. Of course, nobody likes to finish a match with a retirement. First and foremost, I just want to wish Gabriela Ruse a speedy recovery. Injuries aren't fun, so I hope she recovers soon. The redemption was complete. But an even bigger challenge awaited in the 3rd round. World number 10 Amanda Anisimova. And the American was already looking forward to what she expected to be a packed stadium of Filipino fans. The revenge against Elena Gabriela Ruse was complete, but Alex Eala had no time to savor it. Standing between her and a spot in the round of 16 was a player who had reached 2 Grand Slam finals and once sat at number 3 in the world, Amanda Anisimova. World number 10, 9th seed at the $7.4 million Cincinnati Open. At just 24 years old, Anisimova has already accomplished what most players can only dream of. She is a 2-time Grand Slam finalist, losing the US Open and Wimbledon finals in 2025, and a 4-time WTA title winner. She captured a pair of WTA 1000 titles last season after winning the Qatar Open and China Open. In 2025, she made her top 20, top 10, and top 5 debuts, finishing the season at a career-high No. 4 ranking. Earlier this year, she climbed as high as number 3 in the world. The American's resume is a testament to her pedigree. She reached the quarterfinal of the Australian Open this season and, at just 17 years old in 2019, became the youngest French Open semi-finalist in the Open era. She has earned more than $13.8 million in career prize money, a figure that dwarfs Eala's $2.99 million. The statistics paint a picture of a formidable opponent. Anisimova has hit 90 aces this season compared to Eala's 66. She wins a higher percentage of her first serve points, 65.7% to 62.6%, and has won 59.1% of her service points compared to Eala's 57.1%. She also boasts better return figures, winning 40.3% of her return games compared to Eala's 36.8%. But Eala holds her own in key areas. She has a slight edge in second serve points won, 47% to 46.9%, and has played significantly higher match volume this season, logging 502 service games and 494 return games compared to Anisimova's 283 and 278, respectively. That experience in pressure situations could prove decisive. When Anisimova was asked about facing Eala, her response was not one of intimidation or dismissal. It was one of genuine excitement. I haven't played her before. She's been having such an incredible season, incredible year, and very great player with a lot of fans, so I'm really looking forward to that, Anisimova said in an interview with the WTA. The American had been watching Eala's rise. She knew what was coming. A stadium filled with the same electric energy that had transformed the Canadian Open into a Filipino celebration. And she was not only unbothered by it, she was looking forward to it. I love a packed stadium, and I love a good atmosphere. I'm sure it will be a great match, even though they will probably going to be rooting for her, more for her end. But I don't mind. I'll try to thrive off of the energy. The respect was mutual. Eala had never faced Anisimova before, but she knew exactly what she was up against. The American's powerful baseline game, her aggressive shot-making, and her experience on the biggest stages would test every facet of Eala's rapidly evolving arsenal. Anisimova's tennis is built around early ball taking, a punishing forehand, and a backhand of remarkable purity. But Eala had proven she could handle the best. She had already beaten 7 top 10 opponents this season, including world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. A victory over Anisimova would give her 10th career win against a top 10 player, a milestone that would cement her status as one of the most dangerous players on tour. The stage was set for a blockbuster showdown, a packed stadium, a top-tier opponent, and a Filipina sensation ready to prove that her rise was no fluke. She knew exactly what she was walking into, a stadium filled with red, white, and blue flags. Chants of "Eala, Eala" echoing through the Ohio night. A crowd that had transformed a tennis tournament into a celebration of Filipino pride. And yet, Amanda Anisimova's response was not one of intimidation. It was one of genuine excitement. She has a great fan base, and it looks like an incredible atmosphere every time she steps out to play a match. I'm really looking forward to it, Anisimova said in her post-match interview after defeating Zeynep Sonmez 6-2, 6-3. The American had been watching Eala's rise with keen interest. She had seen the phenomenon unfold from a distance. In Dubai earlier this season, she had stayed courtside to watch Eala's match just for the atmosphere. She had witnessed the energy that 4-time Grand Slam winner Naomi Osaka once described as more like a basketball game than a tennis match. I love a packed stadium and I love a good atmosphere. I'm sure it will be a great match, even though they will probably going to be rooting more for her end. But I don't mind it, and I'll try to thrive off of the energy. The words were not just a soundbite, they were a declaration. Anisimova, a 2-time Grand Slam finalist and former world No. 3, was embracing the challenge of facing not just Eala, but the army of supporters that follows her everywhere. I haven't played her before, Anisimova continued, her voice filled with genuine anticipation. She's been having such an incredible season, incredible year. A very great player with a lot of fans, so I'm really looking forward to that. The respect was mutual. Anisimova had already expressed her admiration for Eala earlier in the year. I love that she has such an incredible fan base. I think she's also such a good representation of her country. She's so young, and she carries herself so well. It's so good to see, she had said during the Dubai Tennis Championships. Now, the two would finally meet on the court. A packed stadium, a top-tier opponent, and a Filipina sensation ready to prove that her rise was no fluke. Anisimova, for her part, was ready to thrive in an environment where the vast majority of the crowd would be rooting against her. And she was looking forward to every second of it. The victory over Elena Gabriela Ruse was more than just revenge. It was the latest milestone in a season that has redefined what is possible for Philippine tennis. Eala has now won 8 of her last 9 matches, a run that includes her breakthrough WTA title in Washington and a round of 16 appearance in Toronto. The numbers tell a story of dominance. Against Ruse, Eala won 71% of the points played on the Romanian's first serve and 78% on her second serve. After dropping serve in the opening game, she reeled off 6 straight games to take the first set. She was up 3-0 in the second when the match was suspended due to a lightning warning. The performance was a statement. Eala had arrived at the $7.4 million Cincinnati Open ready to compete. But the real numbers are even more staggering. Eala has already beaten 9 top 10 opponents in her career, with 8 of those wins coming in 2026 alone. She has conquered Iga Swiatek twice, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina, Madison Keys, Coco Gauff, Jasmine Paolini, and Alina Svitolina. Her record against the world's best is not a fluke. It is a pattern. A victory over Anisimova would give Eala her 10th career win against a top 10 player. It would also mark her 9th top 10 victory of the season, a number that would tie her with Aryna Sabalenka for the most such wins on the WTA Tour in 2026. The significance of that achievement cannot be overstated. A player who was ranked outside the top 100 just 18 months ago is now one of the most dangerous opponents in the world. The ranking implications are equally significant. Eala has climbed to a career-high number 18 in the live WTA Tour rankings. She has moved past Ekaterina Alexandrova and Jasmine Paolini, and is now only 18 ranking points behind Sorana Cîrstea in 17th place. The Cincinnati Open is adding to her ranking total because she did not play the event last year. Every win here is pure profit. Anisimova's resume is a reminder of the challenge ahead. The 24-year-old American, who reached a career-high ranking of number 3 earlier this year, captured a pair of WTA 1000 titles last season after winning the Qatar Open and China Open. She is a 2-time Grand Slam finalist, losing the US Open and Wimbledon finals in 2025. She has beaten the best in the world on the biggest stages, and she is playing on home soil. But Eala has the numbers on her side. She has beaten 7 top 10 opponents this season, including world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. She has proven that she can handle the pressure. She has proven that she belongs among the elite. And now she has a chance to prove it again. The numbers matter. The statistics matter. The rankings matter. But for Alex Eala, the only number that truly matters is the one on the scoreboard. And as she prepares to face Amanda Anisimova, she is ready to add another top 10 victory to her already impressive resume. The stage is set. The Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, is ready to host a showdown that could define the next chapter of Alex Eala's extraordinary career. Standing across the net is Amanda Anisimova, the world number 10 and 9th seed at the Western and Southern Open, a $7.4 million WTA 1000 event that represents the biggest stage Eala has ever faced. The moment has been building for weeks. Eala arrived in Cincinnati riding a wave of momentum. She had just claimed her first WTA Tour title at the Mubadala DC Open, defeating world no. 3 Jessica Pegula in the final. She had reached the round of 16 at the Canadian Open in Toronto, extending her hard-court record on the North American swing. And she had climbed to a career-high no. 18 in the live WTA rankings, moving past Jasmine Paolini and Ekaterina Alexandrova. Now she faces a player with a resume that reads like a blueprint for greatness. Anisimova, at just 24 years old, has already reached 2 Grand Slam finals, losing the US Open and Wimbledon finals in 2025. She has captured a pair of WTA 1000 titles last season after winning the Qatar Open and China Open. She reached a career-high ranking of world number 3 earlier this year, and she made the quarterfinals of the Australian Open this season. The American is not just a formidable opponent. She is a player who has beaten the best in the world on the biggest stages. And she is playing on home soil, in front of a crowd that will be split between her American supporters and the Filipino diaspora that has followed Eala across North America. I haven't played her before. She's been having such an incredible season, incredible year, and very great player with a lot of fans, so I'm really looking forward to that, Anisimova said in an interview with the WTA. The American's response was not one of intimidation, it was one of genuine excitement. I love a packed stadium and I love a good atmosphere. I'm sure it will be a great match, even though they will probably gonna be rooting more for her end. But I don't mind it and I'll try to thrive off of the energy. The numbers are on Eala's side. She holds a 9-4 record against top 10 opponents in her young career, with 7 of those wins coming in 2026 alone. She has conquered Iga Swiatek twice, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina, Madison Keys, Coco Gauff, Jasmine Paolini, and Alina Svitolina. She has proven that she can handle the pressure of playing against the best in the world. A victory over Anisimova would give Eala her 10th career win against a top 10 player and her 8th top 10 victory of the season. It would also set up a round of 16 clash with either reigning Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova or Clara Tauson, a chance to continue her historic run. I think that I was playing well. I think I felt the ball good, was really focused, and tried to keep myself in the zone. I think I did a good job of that, Eala said after her victory over Ruse. The $7.4 million dream is on the line. A deep run in Cincinnati would not only boost Eala's ranking, but also her confidence heading into the U.S. Open, which begins on August 30 at Flushing Meadows, Queens. The champion of Cincinnati will walk away with over $1 million and $1,000 ranking points, a prize that would transform any player's season. For Eala, the Cincinnati Open is about more than revenge or prize money. It's about momentum, it's about preparation, and it's about proving that her breakthrough season is just the beginning. What happens when a young woman from Manila, fresh off avenging a 2-year-old defeat, steps onto the court against a top 10 opponent with a spot in the round of 16 on the line? What happens when the WTA realizes that Alex Eala isn't just a rising star, she's a legitimate contender for the biggest titles in tennis? And when Alex Eala faces Amanda Anisimova in Cincinnati, will she prove that the revenge tour is just the beginning of something far bigger? The answers are still being written. But one thing is certain, the Eala Express has arrived in Cincinnati, and the $7.4 million tournament is left in total shock. Alex Eala faces world no. 10 Amanda Anisimova in the third round of the $7.4 million Cincinnati Open. The 21-year-old Filipina, ranked number 18 in the live rankings, is chasing her 10th career win against a top 10 player. Anisimova, a 2-time Grand Slam finalist and former world number 3, awaits in the round of 32. The winner will face either Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova or Clara Tauson in the round of 16. The Eala Express keeps rolling toward the U.S. Open. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the biggest stories in tennis, drama, and emotion every single week. Don't miss what happens next.